I completed 75 hard, and I posted every single day across all social media platforms, and today I'm going to sum it all up, show you my true thoughts and feelings on the challenge, what I learned and what I can pass on to you. If you're new here, don't worry, I'm not going to sit here and say I changed my life in 75 days and sell you a course. It's more about me actually talking through the challenge and sharing the lessons that I learned and hoping that I can help you. And before I talk about the lessons I learned and what this challenge gave me, I think I owe you a little bit of context. The 75 hard challenge was created back in 2019 by a guy named Andy Frisella. It consists of 6 rules listed on the whiteboard right here. 4 liters of water every day, 2 workouts, no cheat meals, take a progress photo every day, read 10 pages of a non-fiction book, which means not like Harry Potter and more like self-improvement, and number 6, no alcohol. But the question is, why did I want to do 75 hard, and why did I want to push myself through this voluntary pain every single day? It all started when I left college. I had a high self-esteem because I had built myself up over many years, and going from a short fat kid to a skinny awkward kid to someone who had a bit of confidence, people would often treat me with a lot of respect, and I liked that. And so when it was time to leave college, I thought life would be just smooth sailing. Escape the matrix, make money, freedom. Now, I'm not against working your way up, it's what Escape the Matrix stood for. And fast forward, I decided not to go to university and try my luck in starting a business, which never happened. Then from pressuring myself and from family, I ended up working 2 dead-end jobs. Slowly, that carefully cultivated self-image and the physique and the mindset completely depreciated. I ended up being 2 years behind my peers, no career prospects, no money, no job, and living at home. And as you would expect, I hit rock bottom, and I felt like I completely messed my life up. But the thing is about rock bottom is you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Although looking back on day 1, I did have a lot to lose. So now you have context on the rules of the 75 hard challenge, as well as why I wanted to do it. Let's dive into how I got on. On day 1, I had what 99% of people starting the fitness challenge have, and it's what I like to call beginner's optimism. The tasks were getting easily ticked off as a result of pure motivation, not organization. But nonetheless, my confidence leveled up, and by week 1, I was feeling amazing. But then again, a hidden part, and what you might not notice, is that filming and recording videos takes a load of time, and it makes the 75 hard challenge extra hard. And to put it into perspective, I was spending 6 to 8 hours every single day editing, and unfortunately my sleep suffered. As the days went by, I adjusted, and between days 20 and 55 it was just a boring grind. Nothing fancy, get the tasks done, film a video, go to bed. However, the weight was going down and I was much more disciplined and resilient, and a nice indicator of this is that I started working midway through the challenge. But little did I know the worst part of the challenge was about to come. Around day 40 I got ill, which I expected, but it still affected me, and I was bedridden for most of those days. The tasks were very difficult to do, but as soon as I thought I was in the clear, unfortunately my dog died. The dog that I'd grown up with, who had seen me grow up, and this was the toughest part of the challenge. And as I mentioned in one of my videos, the old version of me would have quit, but what was different this time was the comments and feedback I received on my videos. And on occasion someone would comment that I've inspired them, and honestly that made me dig my heels in and keep going. And luckily I did, because it paid off. By day 70 I hit the 100 subscriber mark, which was a goal of mine before starting the challenge. But then 5 pretty long days later, I did it. Honestly, I'm really proud of myself for doing this challenge, and I feel like I look 10 times better, but I feel 100 times better mentally. And I'm proud, happy and grateful that I've stuck with this challenge. Now that's enough about me, let's discuss the lessons learned and what you can take from this. And honestly, I learned quite a bit from this challenge, but I'm going to condense it into the 3 most valuable lessons that I learned. Before I get into these lessons, I want to make something clear. These lessons are mainly intended for people who were in a similar position to where I was before this challenge. And a lot of the things I say you might already know, or you might already do, but it's always good to have a little recap every once in a while. Think of it like reinforcing your mindset. Lesson number 1, time intention. At the start of the challenge, I struggled with my time management. I'd often have to rush to the gym late at night just to finish all the tasks. But the lateness wasn't the issue. It was that lingering stressful thought at the back of your mind telling you, when are you going to do this? I'm sure most of us can relate to that feeling, and these are the fixes that I've found. Plan your day the night before. It can be specific with tasks at certain times, or can just be a list of things you want to get done. This alone is great because it allows you to reduce that decision fatigue, which is really important important because your brain has limited space each day. And by removing the stress and making the decision of what to do at which time will free up more space in your brain to think about more things. It's like when someone's using your Wi-Fi, it's slower, but once they disconnect, it runs a lot smoother. The other fix is prioritizing the priority tasks first, which essentially means getting the tasks that are most important to you done first. For me on 75 hard, I would try and get as much done as possible before work, but for whatever reason I didn't complete the task before work, I'd make sure it was my priority straight after work. Putting the priority tasks first allows you to have that designated free time where you're not thinking about other things, which is beneficial for your brain to wind down. So the bottom line is being more intentional with your time will make change easier, as it will allow you to put in the tasks as needed, as well as having that time to yourself stress-free, which is important. A lack of purpose can make people feel very dissatisfied with their situation, and before 75 hard, that was me, dissatisfied. This links in with lesson 1, as you can start new habits and manage your time perfectly for 2 weeks, but are you perfectly equipped to deal with those days where you don't feel like doing it? If not, how do you become better equipped? The answer is purpose. The best way to figure out purpose is to start to speak to yourself like a very curious 5-year-old. Repeatedly ask yourself why. This can be an actionable step for those of you who want to start to figure out what your purpose is, and it can be applied to your life's purpose or a certain action that you want to start doing or are doing. Before 75 hard, using that principle, I asked, why did I want to do 75 hard? And the answer to that is that I wanted to change. But why did I want to change? Because I was undisciplined and out of shape. And then I asked myself why again. And you keep going until you find what your real motivator is. And for me, that was doing something that I could be proud of and can look back on. So now you can see how asking yourself why gets into that hidden deeper psychology that you might not have noticed. The question you might be thinking is, why should I figure out purpose? Research shows that people who have a clear purpose have a higher overall life satisfaction and can tolerate more discomfort. And the good thing about 75 hard is that it forced me to relearn this, and it's a skill highly transferable to everything in life. That's what I want you to walk away with. I promise you, if you follow this advice, you will walk away with not only clarity and excitement, but fulfillment. Lesson 3, perfection. This lesson I'm most passionate about because it really did plague me before 75 hard. Perfectionism on the surface is high standards, but it's also the fear of being imperfect. You wait for the right conditions before you start. Go to the gym at an ideal time, wake up early, eat this many calories. But what happens when life hits us? We end up just saying, oh, it's not perfect, so I'll just quit and not do it anyway. And that right there is the fear of being seen as imperfect. I truly believe that social media has created and caused the spread of this mindset. You open up your phone and then Instagram, and then there's a guy who's got the perfect daily routine, some kid who's a millionaire by 12, and then some girl who's got the perfect diet and says the rest are gonna kill you. And don't get me wrong, these people might have high achieving lives, but that's because they've gone through the trial and error of being imperfect off camera. It's not that your standards are too high, it's that you've made not starting safer than being imperfect. 75 hard helped me get over that, because you have to do the tasks every day. On those bad days where I was feeling quite fatigued, I'd often just ask myself, how can I make this easier while still completing the challenge? Oftentimes I'd say to myself, just run for 5 minutes, and then I'd end up running 45 minutes. On the days that were really bad, I'd just replace a run with a walk, or I'd read a book that had shorter pages rather than longer pages. And on those genuinely bad days, you shouldn't beat yourself up too much about lowering your standards, as long as you get it done. Making the task easier is better than not doing the task at all. What caused me to change my perfectionist view was kind of stepping back away from social media and kind of getting more into mindfulness and controlling my thoughts. And I know people think that's weird these days, but it does work. I do have quite a lot to say on this, so maybe I'll make a video on it in the future. Overall, 75 hard gave me that spark to light the fire within me to do something about my situation, but now it's my responsibility to keep that fire going, and I think I'll look back fondly at this time in my life. I do really recommend this challenge for someone who's looking for that spark to light their fire. So the question is, what's next for me? My main goal right now is to build up this channel as best I can to help people, as well as show a more grounded and authentic look on self-improvement. And if you like that, make sure to subscribe. And since we've hit that 100 subscriber mark, I think it's time for a new goal. And do you know what? I'm going to be a bit more ambitious. Let's aim for 500 subscribers. Thank you all for your time. I'll see you for the next one.